kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby.
Indianapolis Motor Speedway last week Darlington Raceway, put on a great show last week, but now we come to the final race of the calendar year of 2023. It is round number 9 here for the Extreme Motorsports Xfinity Series, and it comes here at Kansas. Good evening, everybody. My name is Frank Marchese. Thank you very much for making us a part of your evening. Do apologize for the late start here tonight, so we're not going to be able to really do too much to set up this race right off the jump because we already have a grid to get to here tonight. Starting on the front row will be Paul Irvin with a time of 30.190. He takes the pole over Rob Haynes on the outside of row number 1. Alan Fox and Tommy Haynes will make up row number 2 with Daniel Krim and Garrett Heath in row 3. Carter Casey and Mike Rominger will sit in row 4. Row 5 goes to Jacob Jensen and Nicholas Weatherby. Row 6 will see Nicholas Caldwell and Michael Robinson, with row 8 going to Alex Reeling and Josh Wren and John Wimbish. Jacob Brower and Austin Karp will make up row number 9 with Michael Thwaites and Ted Pullen in row number 10. Ed Morris and Dustin Carroll, the final 2 drivers to qualify, will make up row number 11 with Logan Koger and David Killough sitting in row number 12. Kerry Cleaver and Ed Morris Sr. will round out the field here tonight in row number 25. Weather conditions here for today's race. We are just past 8 o'clock p.m. in sim time. 12-mile-an-hour winds blowing towards the southwest, 74-degree ambient temperature, 75-degree track temperature here tonight that these drivers will have to face. Really quick after Darlington, we'll take a look at the point standings as they sit coming into this race. Mike Rominger now currently holds a 3-point overall championship lead over Paul Irving, Alex Reeling, Michael Thwaites, Jacob Jensen, Austin Karp, also up there in the top 10 as well. Austin Karp just a few points off of that top 5. Well, as you can hear below me, cars are getting set to go out onto the racetrack. Green flag is in the air. We are racing for 143 laps here at the Kansas Speedway. Big push out to the front for Paul Irvin from Alan Fox in that Walmart number 73 car, as Rob Haynes on the outside trying to hold back Daniel Krim as the caution's going to come out. I believe that was the 36 of Josh Wren. It was. Spinning around in the back, and a lot of rear end damage to that car just prior to the completion of lap number 1. Let's take a look and see what happened with Josh Wren. He's going down the back. He's battling the 8 of Michael Robinson. The 87 of Gary Wells is there as well. And, that was a lot of net code coming across the front of the 8 car there. And we talk about it so often, net code giveth and net code taketh away, and unfortunately that was a point in time where net code certainly taketh away. As Josh Wren without a back bumper will come down pit road. A couple of other drivers coming down as well. That'll be the 92 of Dustin Carroll, David Colo in the 38 coming down. Ed Morris Sr. down pit road as well. Guys trying to just fill up with fuel, maybe get to the back, stay in the back. Here in the early stanza of this race. Stage break here tonight will be at lap 48. Will be the end of lap 48. So as the 48 car circulates here at the front of the field, it will be the end of the 48th lap, where we will hand out stage points for these drivers here tonight. Paul Irvin, Alan Fox, Rob Haynes, Daniel Krim, Tommy Haynes, Carter Casey, Jacob Jensen, Garrett Heath, who had a very good debut last week at Darlington. Very solid finish for him. Currently running in the 8th position, Nicholas Caldwell. Mike Rominger, your current points leader, as mentioned before. Filling out the top 10 here for the moment. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens, what goes on here at this racetrack. We know how difficult this place can be, especially as the run goes on and the progressive banking here, the outside line tends to be the favored line here, but a lot of praise has come, not just from broadcasts that we have done, but also others out in the iRacing community about how this new way of oval racing has completely changed how you have to drive in a good way. So it would be interesting to see if that outside line remains dominant here during this race as it goes on, or if we do see the lanes somewhat switch and move back and forth. Paul Irvin, once again, will lead the field down. Green flag is back in the air as Alan Fox down on that bottom line once again gets a very, very good jump. Gets the jump on Rob Haynes as the 17 of Tommy Haynes currently finds himself leading on the outside lane, at least for the moment. Jacob Jensen in the 64 just below, now just in front. As we ride on board with Tommy Haynes. See, this is typical for Kansas, at least here in the early going. Drivers down on the bottom, trying to save that right rear tire. Drivers up at the top trying to gain as much ground and momentum as they can. A big move by Tommy Haynes going down to the bottom, trying to split Daniel Krim and the 64 of Jacob Jensen. Jensen was not having it. Daniel Krim driving the 91 car tonight. He'll be showing up on the timing and scoring pylon as the 47. Paul Irvin right now a little bit close for comfort here as far as the lead goes. Rob Haynes has gotten around Alan Fox, and he has gotten around, at least for the moment, Paul Irvin. As Haynes took the lead just after that lap ended. Haynes down to the bottom. Irvin with the momentum on the outside, able to pull back even going into turn 3. But it's going to be Haynes on the bottom, getting the advantage in. Paul Irvin will once again lead the lap. He has led all 9 of the completed laps here, all 8, of the laps completed here this evening. And Haynes has no choice but to get back up behind car number 48. A little bit of battling here in the middle of the field. Jumping on board the 6 of Garrett Heath. That Ford Mustang. Heath now occupying that 10th position. You're seeing a lot of drivers already just from out front going up to that outside lane. Watch out. Mike Rominger getting quite close. You'll see that all night long. Drivers on the inside line getting the good run. Down on the bottom, at least on corner entry. Gary Wells, car number 87. Just behind Rominger. Rominger battling side by side with Alex Reeling. Another good side-by-side battle going on here. Logan Koger in that Raptor, number 25. Getting out ahead of Michael Robinson. It's Ed Morris. Hit the wall on his second qualifying lap, which is why he had to start as far back as he did. Ed Morris out of Bloomingdale, Georgia. Trying to work past Logan Koger for the 15th position. Down on the bottom, not missing anything up front. Paul Irvin currently has a half a second lead over Alan Fox and Rob Haynes, as Fox and Haynes have swapped positions just a couple of laps ago. The outside line here at the moment is what's taking precedent. But with the way that this new oval rework and the oval physics here for iRacing have changed, they might have to start venturing down to the bottom sooner rather than later. It's one of the big points. We see Austin Karp there, the number 19. Pushing Garrett Heath along, who's just outside the top 10. Saw that these two lines here, with the way this new oval racing package should work, the line that gets used more is going to heat up. It's going to get really slick. Going to have to move off the line, allow it to cool down. It's Daniel Krim, Nicholas Caldwell, Mike Rominger here in a little bit of a scrap. This is for 7th, 8th, and 9th. If you go back and watch on NASCAR Classics, the first Martinsville race from the spring of 1993, they had a thermal imaging camera. Not quite the blue, green, red that you see now. It was more shades of gray. But really, really cool to see how the racing line, especially at a track like Martinsville, would get so hot. iRacing trying to replicate that here in the sim as Alan Fox really starting to close down on Paul Irvin. Gained 0.3 of a second, about 3.5 tenths. The last couple of laps. Ooh, big wiggle coming out of turn 4 though for that number 73. He has also ventured up to that outside lane. Now Jacob Jensen taking a tour of the bottom. Jacob Jensen, not the biggest mover, but one of. +5 positions now, looking to go +6 as he gets to the inside of Rob Haynes. From the back, Austin Karp. Wow, Austin Karp had a big moment, must have been coming out of turn 4. as he was coming from a very awkward locale off the racing surface. Let's see what happened to car number 19. Ooh, caught the wall into Ed Morris. Like Netcode had its hand there as well in the contact between the 19 and the 7. Right back up onto the circuit. Goes the 19. Tommy Haynes, Mike Rominger on the outside line, trying to get around Daniel Krim and Nicholas Caldwell on the bottom. 87 of Gary Wells right now, a very interested onlooker. Able to run whatever line he feels as though is working better. Right now, he's electing that bottom lane as Mike Rominger running the middle. Not quite able to get the run. Now he's got something. Gary Wells looks to the outside, at least for the moment, to investigate. Now he goes back down to the bottom. Just about halfway through this stage as Nicholas Caldwell jumps up to the outside line between Tommy Haynes and Mike Rominger. Ed Morris right up on that top line as well. Behind the number 4 of Rominger. Board here with Ed Morris. Hear how much throttle play you need to have around this racetrack just to not hit that outside wall, especially coming off of turn 4. Now you would think the exit of turn 4 is going to be a little bit friendlier to you because it doesn't go out into a straightaway. It kind of broadens its way onto the front stretch. But it does not. That turn 4 wall, almost about as square as a normal backstretch wall. It's turn 2 that has the friendlier, more easy corner exit of the pair. It's Tommy Haynes still trying to get around Nicholas Caldwell. He has lost the fight to Daniel Krim. Now Krim able to work his line the way he wants to. May have caught the wall there. So we are halfway through the first stage. Again, back up at the front, nothing new. Paul Irvin, Alan Fox, Jacob Jensen, Rob Haynes, and Carter Casey in car number 28. Running quite close together, and then it's this pack that we've been watching here for the last couple of laps or so. See Krim right up against that wall, rubs the wall. Tommy Haynes gets loose coming off of turn 4. That'll open the door for Ed Morris. And Morris will certainly fill that gap. He'll go right down to the bottom, trying to get around Nicholas Caldwell in the 34. See which way Morris decides to go from the top. Oh, Caldwell's in the fence. Off the left side. Jeez. It doesn't look all that close, but we've already seen a couple of big netcode incidents already here in this race. So you want to try to give as much leeway as you can as Daniel Krim gets a nice little bump going into turn 3. Caldwell on the outside. Caldwell is actually going to take the spot. It's going to open the door for Ed Morris to get around the outside of Daniel Krim as well. And Garrett Heath in that red and white number 6 now starting to poke his nose into this battle. Another battle we're going to see have someone poke their nose in. Alan Fox, right on the back bumper of Paul Irvin, trying to get this race lead. Paul Irvin from the pole has led every single lap thus far, and he has done it up on that high line. Alan Fox has been moving left, right, and center, trying to get up to and maintain with the 48. And these two have pulled away to the tune of about a second over this trio. Jensen, Haynes, and Casey. Paul Irvin starting to get a little bit of an advantage now with Alan Fox needing to take that inside line a little bit more, but you can see there is nothing in it with these lap times, less than a half a tenth between these two, going pretty much either way. Lap 27 with Alan Fox being a little bit quicker appears to be the outlier between these two. Battle continues on back here at the back of the top 10. Both Nicholas Caldwell and Ed Morris have broken away. Now Mike Rominger is trying to hold off Garrett Heath. Nicholas Weatherby now getting his shots in on Daniel Krim. Krim in that 91 car has been very content to run that bottom line, and right now it is not paying dividends for him. As Nicholas Weatherby in the 44 now gets up into the second place, the 10th place position. Mentioned at the top of the broadcast that this will be the final race for the Extreme Racing Xfinity Series in the year 2023. There will be a 50-50 money race next week for these drivers that will not be broadcasted. And then, of course, Christmas, New Year's, peace on earth come to all. Then right back at it with Talladega on January 2nd. And that is it as far as off weeks are concerned. They are going through right till the end of the season. As Paul Irvin, oh, watch out, slides in on pit entry. We're going to stay green, at least for the moment, as Irvin now has to decide whether he wants to go backwards to get around the cone. He does, right in front of Alex Reeling. What a moment for Paul Irvin. Again, just trying to get onto pit road. Back end steps out, just keeps on going, keeps on rolling out. You don't want to get the unsafe pit entry penalty to add to your woes. You also don't want to get a black flag for going backwards. Caution there would have really been helpful. And if you're Alex Reeling, you're wondering, what is that 48 doing? As Alan Fox now comes down pit road. Casey Carter, Mike Rominger, Jacob Jensen, Nicholas Caldwell, Logan Koger, David Collot, Josh Wren, all coming down pit road as well. Here's Daniel Krim with a exciting entry to pit road, as that will leave Ed Morris out in the race lead by about 1.4 seconds over Garrett Heath. Nicholas Weatherby up to third. Michael Thwaites, the winner at Indianapolis 2 weeks ago. The start of this little 3-race run to the end of the year. He is coming in now, running in fourth. John Wimbish coming in behind him, as is Gary Wells. All coming down pit road. As it sits, Rob Haynes, there he is. On fresh tires, and you can see with the moves he's making on fresh tires. Same thing with the 73 of Alan Fox. Rob Haynes, who came in the lap prior to Fox on lap 34 as compared to lap 35. Haynes has taken over the race lead. Ed Morris in, Garrett Heath in, Nicholas Weatherby in. That leaves the lead of the race to Tommy Haynes and Ed Morris Sr. So this battle here is for the race lead, with Michael Robinson not all that far behind. Ted Pullen's right there as well in the 15. Robinson's going to come in. Tommy Haynes is going to come in. So Ed Morris Sr. will lead that lap. Ted Pullen about a half a second behind in the number 15. There he is. And there is Rob Haynes, who will come out of this with the race lead. So it'll be Haynes, Fox, Bauer. There's Jacob Bauer in the AC Delco number 3. He came into pit on lap 26. Casey Carter just behind. He's in fourth. Jacob Jensen, Nicholas Caldwell in a battle with Mike Rominger for the effective 5th position. Ted Pullen has come in. Now the 5 of Ed Morris should be able to go a little bit longer than everybody else. He was one of the 5 or 6 drivers that came down pit road under the first caution on lap 2, as now Ed Morris Sr. will bring it down pit road. And he will bring the lead of the race to car number 99. That miscue from Paul Irvin, by the way, there he is on track right now. Brought him from the race lead all the way down to 16th, 16 and a half seconds off the race lead. It's Mike Rominger getting past Jacob Brower. So move Caldwell up to 5th, Rominger up to 6th. Only a handful or so laps to go before we get to the end of this stage. Alan Fox is keeping Rob Haynes honest, at least for the moment. There's a big pace discrepancy between the two. The longer the run went on, the question right now for Fox is, will the run be long enough for his car to really start to dig in? Fox running the bottom, Haynes running the top. No threat behind. There's Casey Carter. He is trying to hold off those 3 behind him. Jacob Jensen, Nicholas Caldwell, Mike Rominger. That would be for the 3rd spot here in the stage. Jacob Bauer has just gotten passed by Ed Morris, so that'll move Morris up to 7th. Garrett Heath is there as well. He's in 9th. And for Ed Morris, this has been a stage of great work for him, as Morris 14 positions in the green. Started back in the 21st position again after hitting the wall on his qualifying attempt. Having to start from the back, and has driven his way up to 7th, and thanks to pit strategy has also led some laps here tonight. Lead does look like it's starting to come down a little bit between Haynes and Fox. Yeah, it certainly is. It's quite a nice little staircase headed back towards Fox's way. So that bottom line really starting to prevail. He was about a tenth quicker, was Fox over Haynes last time around. And now the question is, can Haynes hold this for another 2 laps? Fox getting right to the back bumper. Let's see what the lap time difference is going to be on this lap. 2/10 he pulled back. So now Fox has 2 laps to try to get this stage win. Quite close enough yet is Alan Fox. We have 1 more lap to get it done. Looks to the outside. Haynes goes to the bottom. Now Fox looking to the inside. Fox with a great run, at least on entry. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to maintain it on exit. He won't. As Haynes will take Fox's line, coming through 3 and 4. And Rob Haynes, by the slimmest of margins, will take the stage victory here at Kansas. Casey, Jensen, Caldwell, Rominger, Morris, Heath, Wimbish, and Weatherby will be the other stage winner, will be the other stage point collectors here tonight, but it will be Rob Haynes taking home the stage win. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back to Kansas City, Kansas, and the Kansas Speedway for round number 9 of the Extreme Motorsports Xfinity Series.
Allow Extreme Scoring to do the work for you.
Ricmotech, high-performance sim racing equipment. Whether you're just looking to have fun, train for race day, or become a serious esports competitor, Ricmotech has you covered. Hundreds of name-brand parts. Support from experts that love sim racing. Trusted by the pros. There's only one place to go, Ricmotech.com.
The search is over. The most comprehensive oval scoring solution is here. Featuring oval playoffs, adjust drivers per round, custom number of rounds, custom playoff points, provisionals, optional win and you're in, custom playoff displays, rookie championships, optional minimum participation, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
Getting back to racing action here at the Kansas Speedway for the Extreme Motorsports Xfinity Series, round number 9. Ed Morris Sr., by virtue of not coming into pit under the stage caution, has taken over the race lead. Nicholas Weatherby will line up on the outside of the front row, having taken 2 tires. Rob Haynes also took 2 tires. Carter Casey, though, going through the middle, took 4, as did everyone behind him. 3 wide for second. Weatherby's the one that's going to lose out. Carter Casey on those 4 fresh tires. Oh, contact between the 28 and the 99. Beautiful save there by Rob Haynes. They were 4 wide momentarily, going through 3 and 4. Look at Paul Irvin get loose in the back. Irvin gets clipped. Caution's going to come out. We have had 2 cautions for incident here tonight, and both of them have come on the opening lap after the start of the race and after the stage break. Something really dragging on that 48. Never quite seen Sparks jump up out of a car like that. Not quite sure who he hit there, but this was a jumbled mess. So there's the 99. They were 4 wide in there for a moment. Paul Irvin just got loose coming out of the corner. It was 47 that got into the 48. Let's go back a little bit further here. See how loose that 99 car got. Oh no, he clipped somebody. I believe that was Wimbish in the 98. So there is Paul Irvin coming in, Tommy Haynes, Gary Wells, Ed Morris Sr., Kerry Cleaver all coming in as well. That will leave Jacob Jensen with the race lead. Nicholas Weatherby will line up on the outside of the front row once again. There's Alex Reeling getting a lap back. Nicholas Caldwell, Rob Haynes will be the second row. Garrett Heath, Ed Morris, Alan Fox, John Wimbish, Carter Casey, and Jacob Brower. Your current top 10 as we sit. Again, if you're just joining us, thank you for welcoming us into your homes here again tonight. Round number 9, the last race of the calendar year 2023. A couple of weeks off. Again, there will be a 50-50 money race next week here for this series that will not be broadcasted, and then it'll be, of course, Christmas and New Year, and then January 2nd, the series is right back on it and will run till the end of the year. Talladega, the All-Star race at Atlanta on January 9th. Dover, Vegas, Homestead, Watkins Glen, Pocono, and Phoenix. Season will wrap up on the 20th of February. And what a fun season it has been thus far, in a season full of parity. Austin Karp, who has retired from this race, retired back on lap 32. Winner last week at Darlington. He is the only multi-race winner here this season as we work round number 9. Mike Rominger, winner at Daytona. Alan Elwood, winner at Texas, round 2. Travis Beckner took round 3. Bryce Senizak, winner at Auto Club. Austin Karp at Chicago. Alex Reeling took checkered at Sonoma. Michael Thwaites at Indy, and then Austin Karp last week. All of those drivers locked into the championship playoffs, which will begin in the very near future. These drivers double up and get set to go once again. Drivers do have some lane choice available to them here. Jacob Jensen has elected the outside lane here on this restart. Nicholas Caldwell will be down at the bottom. Nicholas Weatherby take the second spot on the outside row, with Rob Haynes down on the bottom. Green flag set to come back out. Off we go again here at Chicago. A great start there by Jacob Jensen. Gets out in front and well clear of Nicholas Caldwell on this restart. Rob Haynes, stage winner. Very low coming out of turn 2. Not sure if he got loose coming out of that corner or not, as Nicholas Caldwell goes for the race lead. Looking to the inside of Jacob Jensen, using that inside line while he still can. Caldwell, by the slightest of margins, does lead the lap. As we're 3 wide, Rob Haynes, at least we were 3 wide for a moment. Alan Fox getting past both Garrett Heath and the 99 of Rob Haynes. John Wimbish there in that yellow and blue machine. Car number 98 also in the mix. Still side by side up here for the race lead. Now the lines have been reversed. Still the same result. Nicholas Caldwell in the race lead. John Wimbish running in 7th place right now. Nicholas Weatherby holding station in 3rd. There's Ed Morris running in the 4th spot. Again, Nicholas Weatherby doing all of this on just 2 tires that he took during the stage break. He was one of the later pitters at the end of stage 1. There we see on the graphic down there, both Weatherby and Heath coming into pit on lap 38 during the first stage. So those two now battle for the 4th position. Weatherby only taking 2 tires during the stage break. Heath deciding to take all 4. For the moment, that will put him up into position number 4 as Weatherby now having to fight from John Wimbish, who's down on the bottom. As Wimbish looking possibly to make it 3 wide on Ed Morris, decides better of it going into turn 3. Ed Morris slots up into that 5th position, plus 16 from where he started. Michael Thwaites, you see on the inside of Carter Casey. Here in the 28 on the outside line. Michael Thwaites up to 8th position now. He's plus 11 from where he started. Nicholas Caldwell, John Wimbish. Both of those 2 drivers plus 10. Logan Koger also plus 11. He's running in the 12th spot. So we have had some big movers here in this race. Nicholas Caldwell getting a chance to lead for the first time here tonight. Holds a 6/10 of a second lead is now Jacob Jensen. Starting to come under a little bit of fire from Alan Fox. Alan Fox, second place finisher in the first stage. Native of Syracuse, New York. Trying to put the screws to car number 64. Different lines, and you can also, from that camera, get an interesting little look. See a little bit further back that progressive banking as we really have a hornet's nest here. Just outside the top 10, Jacob Brower and Daniel Krim running 9th and 10th. Those two are side by side, making a little bit of contact between the 3 and the 91. Those two running 9th and 10th, Logan Koger, Mike Rominger, Nicholas Weatherby, Dustin Carroll, David Collot, Tommy Haynes, all there just behind them. It's about a 3-second gap before you go back to Kerry Cleaver, Gary Wells, and Rob Haynes, who has completely fallen off. Haynes, another driver who under that stage break, again, he was the stage winner, decided to come in, take 2 tires, as did Gary Wells, as did Tommy Haynes, as did Nicholas Weatherby. All those drivers, I'm sure now, regretting their decision. Battle for second. Alan Fox has taken over the spot. So Alan Fox moving up into the second spot. Jacob Jensen, though, not allowing him to just have it and get away. There are a couple of drivers also behind that are trying to put some pressure on. They're putting pressure on each other. Ed Morris running in 4th spot, trying to take that position away from Garrett Heath in the 6. And will do so successfully. Michael Thwaites still trying to battle around John Wimbish. Wimbish holding that outside line quite steadily here for the moment, and even with, going back up to the front, even with the faster car of Alan Fox sitting behind, or at least from what we saw in the first stage, the faster car of Alan Fox. Nicholas Caldwell is still pulling away. He's gotten that lead out to over a second. As Jacob Jensen now really starting to fall away. Lost position to both Ed Morris and to Garrett Heath. Wimbish still defending from Michael Thwaites as things starting to get spread out here at Kansas Speedway. Nicholas Caldwell, your current race leader, as we work round number 9 here of the Extreme Motorsports Xfinity Series. We'll be right back here on Sim Racing Media.
Ricmotech high-performance sim racing equipment. Whether you're just looking to have fun, train for race day, or become a serious esports competitor, Ricmotech has you covered. Hundreds of name brand parts. Support from experts that love sim racing. Trusted by the pros. There's only one place to go, Ricmotech.com. Ricmotech high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, Ricmotech.com.
The search is over. The most comprehensive oval scoring solution is here. Featuring oval playoffs, adjust drivers per round, custom number of rounds, custom playoff points, provisionals, optional win and you're in, custom playoff displays, rookie championships, optional minimum participation, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
Saw the battle for second a moment ago on our side-by-side. Now it's a battle for the race lead. Ed Morris has caught up to Nicholas Caldwell very rapidly, and now Morris has that outside line, has the preferred line. Caldwell has nothing he can do other than yield. Ed Morris, who started back in the 21st position after messing up his second qualifying lap, has now taken the race lead as Nicholas Caldwell decides to come down to pit. Nicholas Weatherby, David Collot also following Nicholas Caldwell down to come into pit. But what a run here for Ed Morris. This has been a long run car, this number 7 here tonight. And it has certainly shown as Morris continues to fly, plus 20 from where he started here tonight. With a little bit under 60 laps to go. Looks like he has one of the cars to beat. There is Alan Fox, the man who finished second in the last stage. He currently holds down the second position, 0.6 of a second behind Ed Morris and falling. Garrett Heath starting to work his way back up through the top 5. He is now up into third. As you see, Jacob Jensen and Michael Thwaites battling side by side here for the 4th spot, just behind. We have had 2 cautions for incident here tonight, one at the end of lap 1. The other one at the end of lap 49, which would have been the end of the stage break. Lap 52, pardon me, which would have been the end of the stage break. So the battle here is Nicholas Caldwell on fresh tires moving up. This is 11th, 12th, and a 10th here as well with Gary Wells, Ted Pullen, and Daniel Krim. Krim looked very strong in the early stages of this race, has since fallen off. Sitting just behind them, however, multiple laps down, is Paul Irvin in the 48. Now, Paul Irvin was leading the first stage right up until he spun coming onto pit road entry. He was then the cause of the caution. Back on lap 54. Sat on pit road for 10 minutes, almost 11 minutes for repairs. Boy, almost 4 wide there as the 92 of Dustin Carroll sneaks his way through. Rob Haynes, winner of the first stage. He's running 1 lap down in 17th. Alan Fox, Jacob Jensen, John Wimbish all coming in. Logan Koger coming in. Ed Morris now with almost a 2-second lead over Garrett Heath. And Ed Morris is going to respond in short order to Alan Fox coming into pit. Same thing with Garrett Heath. Same thing with Carter Casey. That will put the 12 of Michael Thwaites into the race lead. Rob Haynes 1 lap down. Haynes has come into pit. He came into pit on lap 80, so he will get his lap back. But he is back in the field because he took 2 tires for the beginning of stage 2. Ended up falling back quite significantly. Closest battle on track right now, Ted Pullen running away from Gary Wells as Pullen has gotten passed up by Paul Irvin. Irvin found himself in the wall there through 1 and 2. That allows Pullen to go back through. Rob Haynes trying to battle for position now with Dustin Carroll, car number 92. Dustin Carroll looking towards the bottom, trying to keep Haynes at bay, but the 99 has felt very at home up top. Nicholas Weatherby, who has also come down pit road. He is just behind, and is a battle for position, as is this battle here. This is a battle between Ed Morris and Alan Fox. Now, this is not a battle for the effective race lead. Nicholas Caldwell has that at the moment. Michael Thwaites has come down pit road, so he will surrender the race lead to Tommy Haynes in the 17. Nicholas Caldwell, this battle you're seeing here is all for position, all between cars that have come into pit. Caldwell is 5 seconds clear of this group as the 92 of Dustin Carroll catches the wall. That allows Rob Haynes to catch right back up. Gary Wells comes down pit road. Here is Nicholas Caldwell. Now Caldwell is going to be at a pretty significant disadvantage here. He came in on lap 84 compared to Ed Morris, who came in on 90. As Weatherby not allowing Fox to go through easily, nor should he. We'll move Alan Fox into the 6th position, effective 2nd, waiting on 3 drivers to pit. That would be the 17 of Tommy Haynes, Ted Pullen in the 15, there he is. And then Ed Morris Sr. Those 3 at the moment not in danger of getting passed on circuit. Those 2, that trio, Simmons comes down pit road. Exuberant pit entry. So Nicholas Caldwell here will hold the race lead. And as I had mentioned a couple laps ago, that gap was about 5 seconds. It's down now to 3. As Ed Morris and Alan Fox continue to roll that bottom line. Not something we would have seen earlier on here tonight. Remember, the top line at the start of this race was absolutely king. So to see these drivers move down to the bottom lane to coast and ride, certainly interesting. Drivers like Alan Fox have been down there all night long, but a vast majority of drivers have found all of their strength and all of their pace up in that top groove as Garrett Heath makes a move on the 44 of Nicholas Weatherby. That will move him up into the 6th position, but only momentarily. That's effective P4 that Heath has just put himself into as both Ted Pullen and Ed Morris come down pit road. So with about 45 laps to go, Nicholas Caldwell now finds himself in the lead by a second and a half over Ed Morris and Alan Fox. And remember, a 5 and 6 lap tire disadvantage for the 34 compared to the 7 and the 73. Down at the bottom of your screen, the last time these drivers came down pit road. Lap 50 was the end of the stage. So we have now hit the century mark here at Kansas. Ed Morris Sr. coming out of pit road. Battle for position. This is to get back into the top 10. Rob Haynes, who has gotten pretty severely off cycle from everybody else, has no choice but to allow Michael Thwaites and Mike Rominger to go through. Rominger and Thwaites, two of the longest to wait to come into pit. Those two came in on lap 92. And now running 9th and 10th, trying to chase down John Wimbish and Jacob Jensen. Jacob Jensen is trying to put a move on Carter Casey, who is trying to get past the lap car, the number 3 of Jacob Brower. Speaking of lap cars here for the moment, Ed Morris Sr. is the first and only car, as a matter of fact, that is 1 lap down. Everybody else is multiple laps down as Ed Morris has taken over the race lead. We'll show you that pass in just a moment. Alan Fox looking for and getting P2. So Fox will set sail after Ed Morris once again, but Ed Morris Sr. on the fresh tires, playing a little bit of a blocker for the number 7. Here's the pass for the race lead. Ed Morris down to the bottom. Nicholas Caldwell running the top. Something you would not have seen earlier tonight. The bottom line prevails. Ed Morris Sr. getting his lap back the old-fashioned way, thanks to the new and fresh tires, and thanks to that, Michael Robinson right now sitting 3 laps down, currently in the 22nd position. He is the first car 1 lap down. Nice 4-way battle here. Carter Casey, Michael Thwaites, Jacob Jensen, Nicholas Weatherby, Mike Rominger also getting into the mix. From 5th all the way to 9th. John Wimbish on the outskirts of this fight as Michael Thwaites looks to the inside of Carter Casey. He will take over the 5th position, now has 3.5 seconds to close in to his next position at Garrett Heath, if he'll be allowed to run away. Jumping on board here with Jacob Jensen, car number 64. It might be a little left rear damage on the 28. May have had a little bit of contact in that corner a little bit earlier on tonight. You can see that body piece not quite fitting to the side of the car the way it should. Weatherby has fallen out of this fight. It is now certainly a three-horse race between Carter Casey, Mike Rominger, and Jacob Jensen. Jensen has the advantage down on the bottom line on corner entry. Just doesn't quite have the momentum, especially with Mike Rominger pushing Carter Casey through on that outside line to be able to make the pass stick. Not missing anything up at the front. Ed Morris currently leads by 1.6 seconds over Alan Fox. Fox has the same gap back to Nicholas Caldwell, who is starting to come under fire from Garrett Heath in the number 6. Rominger looking to the inside of Jacob Jensen, cannot quite make the pass as Jensen now jumps up to that outside lane to try to defend from the 4. Rominger, you can't pass him if you're just driving in his tire tracks. Now we'll try to find a way around on the bottom. Michael Thwaite starting to get away, not quite a second ahead of this trio. Here's the battle I mentioned a moment ago. This is for P3 between Nicholas Caldwell and Garrett Heath. Heath has slowly been catching. 10th and a half, 2/10 a lap for that number 6. Ed Morris right now, by far and away the fastest car on track right now. Ran a 32.6 last time around. The only one even remotely close was Michael Thwaites at a 31.14. So 7 and 12, the two fastest cars on track. As we inch closer to 30 to go here at Kansas. Mentioned here earlier on as we see Mike Rominger. I know we had kind of an abrupt start to this race, but we'll take a look really quick at the point standings. Once again, coming into this race, 7 different drivers locked into the championship playoffs already. As we work round number 9, Mike Rominger, as far as the overall point standings are concerned, Rominger will certainly grow that points lead today as he gets to the inside of Jacob Jensen, looking for and taking the 7th position. Meanwhile, Paul Irvin, the man who was the points leader going into last week's race at Darlington, currently runs in 25th. That's how the point standings shake out here at the moment. Battle for third starting to heat up. Nicholas Caldwell, Garrett Heath. About 4.5 seconds now off the race lead. Alan Fox, 2.4 seconds ahead of him, 2.1 seconds behind him. Garrett Heath down on that bottom lane. It certainly looks as though the lanes have flopped. Outside lane, first half of the race was certainly the lane to be in. Inside lane now seems to be the more dominant lane, especially coming off of turn 4. As Garrett Heath trying to make a move. That is the number 96 of Kerry Cleaver coming through. Kerry Cleaver just came down pit road a couple of moments ago, explaining his pace. Currently running 2 laps down in the 21st position. And at the moment, he will be the free pass car if a caution were to come out. Mike Rominger getting past Carter Casey in car number 28. We've only had 2 cautions for incident here tonight. One at the end of lap 1 after the initial start of the race. The other at the end of lap 54. Completion of the first lap after the stage restart. This is just outside the top 10 here. Tommy Haynes, 17, getting into the wall. Holding up Rob Haynes in the 99. David Collot will get out in front of these two. Battle just outside the top 10 again, as I mentioned, running for 11th. Rob Haynes, stage winner, is going to come down to pit road for what will be his final stop. And his night really took a turn for the worse. He came down pit road under the stage brake, only took 2 tires, having put about 10 laps on the set prior during the first stage pit stop. Fell right towards the back, and I'm sure has been ruining his decision since, as Garrett Heath is all over the back of Nicholas Caldwell. Looking to the inside. Here just pumping that throttle, trying to stay off of the outside wall. Trying to keep that pace up. Michael Thwaites has come down pit road. He'll give up a top 5 position. Jacob Jensen trying to get around Carter Casey. Alan Fox comes down pit road. Garrett Heath, Nicholas Caldwell, both coming down pit road here. And Garrett Heath, with a better pit entry, has gotten around Nicholas Caldwell. Mike Rominger, Nicholas Weatherby, David Collot, Alex Reeling all coming down pit road. See what Ed Morris does here. Yep, he does respond to Alan Fox, just as he did the pit stop prior. That will leave this as your battle for the race lead here. Carter Casey, Jacob Jensen. The fight for first and second. Let's take a look at how Garrett Heath got into pit road as we see Jacob Jensen and Carter Casey. That right there, a little bit more aggressive pit entry from Garrett Heath compared to Nicholas Caldwell. Got him out into the pits first, and will get him out of the pits well before Nicholas Caldwell. Jacob Jensen and Carter Casey still running for the race lead. Logan Koger, Ed Morris Sr., the only other drivers that have not come down pit road. Here comes Jacob Jensen. Big slide on entry. Carter Casey following. So this will be Logan Koger's first chance to lead a lap here tonight if he decides to take it, and he will. So Logan Koger in that Raptor number 25 will get a lap lead, but he's not all that clear sailing right now for the 25, as Ed Morris Sr. is just behind. Now Morris, through the pit cycle, has led a couple laps here in that number 5. There is the younger Ed Morris, who will resume the lead of the race. Logan Koger coming into pit. That will leave Ed Morris Sr. out in front. Alan Fox now was about 2.5 seconds behind Ed Morris coming down into pit road. He is now less than a second Came into pit that one lap earlier, had a 1/10 of a second better pit stop than the number 17. So that will net him about a 1.5 seconds out on the racetrack as Garrett Heath finds himself in third place. He is battling with Michael Thwaites. Now Thwaites came in a lap before Garrett Heath did, just as the case was with Fox and Morris. These two have a 2-second gap before you find Nicholas Caldwell and Mike Rominger 6th and 7th. Ed Morris Sr. coming down pit road, so in a moment that battle for 6th and 7th between Caldwell and Rominger will be for 5th and 6th. As Ed Morris finds his way back out in front, Alan Fox this time not letting him go. Fox ripping it around the outside line. He was 2/10 faster than Ed Morris Sr. last time through. Gaining quite significantly ever since that 73 got out of pit road, knowing that he doesn't necessarily need to save for a full fuel stint. So that might annoy Alan Fox a little bit. The 47 of Daniel Krim not quite taking that cut, costing him a little bit of time, nothing too significant. Jacob Jensen, John Wimbish. Battle for the 9th position. 2-lap tire advantage between these two. Michael Thwaites has gotten by Garrett Heath. And we've seen this so far here tonight that Garrett Heath does appear to be a long-run car. As long as he can stay to the back of that 12, I don't see it being too much of an issue for him to be able to get back around him in somewhat of a timely manner. Nicholas Caldwell and Mike Rominger 1.2 seconds behind that battle for third that we just saw. Weatherby now 4.1 seconds behind Rominger, 1.6 seconds ahead of Rob Haynes. Haynes is not as far off on pit strategy now as he was earlier in the race. He was about 9 to 10 laps off. This is 12 laps off to some drivers on the last stint. He is now only 4 laps off to the leader. Now 3 wide between John Wimbish, Rob Haynes, Jacob Jensen. Jensen, having pit the most recently, is the one that's going to take the advantage down on the bottom. John Wimbish following him through. Those of you just joining us, thank you very much for making us a part of your evening. Final race for the Extreme Motorsports Xfinity Series presented by Ricmotech for the calendar year 2023. 50-50 money race next week, off for Christmas, and then back at it for Talladega, where we will run straight through till the end of the season. Garrett Heath, Michael Thwaites swapping positions yet again. Here's the pass. This is back on lap 127. This is the pass that Michael Thwaites put on Garrett Heath. That was to get Thwaites up into third. And now here just a moment ago, this is Garrett Heath getting him back going into turn 1. Now starting to pull a little bit of an advantage as Nicholas Caldwell and Mike Rominger start to reel themselves in, as we are just shy of 10 laps to go. Ed Morris Sr. looked like a shaky start to the run, but he has solidified his lead. Last time around, 3/10 faster than Alan Fox, who looks like he will have to settle for not only second in the stage, but second in the race, as he is nearly 6 seconds clear of Garrett Heath, who is now trying to run away from this battle here. Mike Rominger will no doubt extend his points lead here tonight. Came in with a 3-point lead over Paul Irvin after Irvin got involved in an incident on lap 54. Spent 11 minutes repairing the car. He is down in the 25th position, 16 laps down. Austin Karp, the only driver that will not finish this race here tonight. Garrett Heath might not have seen the last of Michael Thwaites, as those two starting to really get close once again. Same thing with Mike Rominger here with 8 laps to go. Rominger catching the wall pretty hard coming out of turn 4. Rominger now starting to ratchet up the pressure on Nicholas Caldwell. No pressure between the top two, though. Morris continues to extend that lead by upwards of 3/10 a lap. Michael Thwaites, a very solid run for him, and that number 15, or number 12, pardon me, plus 15 from where he started tonight. He's not been a qualifier this season, but man, when it comes to race day, he has really turned it on. Again, collecting the win in Indianapolis a couple of weeks ago. Now looking for a podium to round out the calendar year 2023. Kerry Cleaver, the 96, trying to work his way through the field. Cleaver has since come back down pit road. He came in on lap 129. So on fresher tires than these drivers, is now looking to the inside goes Michael Thwaites. He's going to try to use that outside line momentum. He will not, for the moment, at least be able to do that, as the inside line once again prevails. Michael Thwaites out to the race lead, but that now allows Garrett Heath to be able to cross over, and now he can get to the inside line. Trying to take that third position back. Very good side-by-side duel here between the 6 of Heath, running just his second race in the series since returning. Michael Thwaites, series veteran. He's really able to control down on that bottom line. Doesn't need to pass him technically, just needs to nose ahead of him. Almost made some contact there between the two. First 2 spots on the final podium in 2023 are well sorted. It's the final spot that is up for dispute. And both of these drivers making a very good case for it, as I believe Nicholas Caldwell got loose coming out of turn 2. Almost sending Mike Rominger down to the infield. as both of those two now run side by side. So we're side by side for third and for fifth. White flag in the air, one more lap to go. Rominger has to settle and tuck in behind. For Ed Morris, the mistake on the second lap of qualifying put him back in the 21st starting spot. He worked his way through the field, and he will take his first win of the season and the last win of the year. Michael Thwaites coming across the line. It will be Garrett Heath rounding out the top three on a last lap inside line charge. What a race we have seen here tonight. As Ed Morris becomes the 8th different winner in 9 races this season and will collect the final points of the calendar year. And with that, we will now speak with our race winner here tonight. And Ed, you were up here with me during your qualifying effort. You were not happy after you hit that wall coming out of turn 4, but I'm sure this has more than made up for it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it was, we caught the wall at qualifying and didn't get a good lap in and had to start in the back. And we had a lot of cars tonight, too, so I had a lot of work ahead of me. And, we just stayed focused and pushed through the field and kept the car clean. And we got into some close calls there, especially at the beginning there. I don't know how we missed that first wreck. And I think I got into the 19 a little bit off of forward and kind of tossed him into the grass, so I apologize to the 19 for that. That's my bad. I didn't mean to get into him. But, I mean, overall, didn't have a lot of cautions and everything kind of fell in our favor. And we were really, really, really good on the long run. And this thing was this Chevy Camaro here that we were running tonight was extremely fast, and we played the strategy right, staying out there. I know Nick was really fast too, and I was trying to give him everything I had, and I think he pitted early there, and I decided to go the opposite and pit late, and I think I picked the right strategy on that. But Nick had a good fight. He had a good run. Everybody did tonight. It was an awesome race.
Working your way up through the field here tonight, how were you able to save those tires? Because we saw at the end of that first run, you were still flying. You were one of the fastest cars on the racetrack. How were you able to work your way through the field as quickly as you did, but still have rubber to burn come the end?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I was just the way the track was. We just had that fresh update, and I like it. This multi-groove racing and the way they're doing the track dynamics and stuff with the tire wear and the heat. It's definitely worked in my favor because I like being able to move around and find the grip and find where the lines are, and I think maybe that was just where we had it at the beginning, because I was comparing tires data to some of my teammates, and Alan Fox, he was up front there that whole first run, and he had way better tires than I did at the end, and I think I was just working the track a little bit better than some of those guys where we were picking up time at.
Well, as far as points racing goes, you are the one that fires the final salvo for the calendar year. Talladega in a couple of weeks. I know you have your 50-50 race next week, but what are your thoughts going into Talladega to open up 2024?
It's going to be a relaxing weekend for me. Plate racing's always been fun. I have always enjoyed it. It's always a blast, but it's never fun going into a plate race when you have to really make points. We've done fairly good this season. I think we're setting all right in points, kind of somewhere midways, but, anything can happen. We get a bad race or, not able to run next week or some reason for, some kind of failure or internet or, things can happen, but we're able to go into next week with a win. We're locked into the playoffs. So, yeah, we're to just go out there and have a good time and enjoy the plate racing and see if we're at there at the end to try to get us another win.
Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, everybody here at Extreme Motorsports, yeah, all the admins, everybody that makes this place go. SRM, you guys for the broadcast and the race control. Without you guys, man, I don't know what I would do. You guys provide a big help, and all of our drivers here. I appreciate everybody coming out and racing with us. I hope these guys are enjoying the racing too. I mean, it's been pretty phenomenal, and we're starting to build the numbers up. So appreciate all those guys that are showing up every week, and all the new guys that have signed up here in the recent last few weeks that are new joins and coming to race with us. So appreciate those guys. Ricmotech, Frank, and all those guys over at that shop. If you need some sim racing gear, that's the place to go. Those guys are what keeps the lights on here. So big shout out, thanks to Ricmotech Extreme Scoring. And everybody back at Primetime Motorsports. Appreciate it.
All right, your race winner here tonight, 8th different race winner in 9 races this season. Ed Morris, congratulations.
Thanks, man.
That'll now bring us up our 2nd place finisher here tonight. That would be Alan Fox. And Alan, kind of a second best night for you, unfortunately. Came home 2nd by a hair in the at the stage, and here tonight, Morris just looked like he was a little bit too much for you.
Yeah, he was flying in the middle of the run. That last run especially, I killed my tires first couple laps trying to catch back up to him. But yeah, stage, I'm relatively new, just coming back into it, so been around Extreme for a while, just getting back into the mix now. I didn't know the stage ends when the yellow flies, so I thought at the line I backed off. But other than that, yeah, it was a good night overall.
We've heard a lot so far here in the first couple weeks of this now, the multi-groove racing and the oval rework from iRacing. Did you feel it here tonight?
To an extent, yeah. I mean, I don't know, that first run there, I was making a lot of time on the bottom because everybody was still pegged on the wall, and it seems like that upper lane, when it gets hot, everybody's running up there, put some rubber down. The grip is where it's cool in the bottom lane, and you can just get it to turn so much better, or vice versa.
A couple of weeks off, head to Talladega at the Open of next year. What are your thoughts going into Talladega?
Well, as a part-time driver, I just hope I can make it and stay in the mix and not get caught up in the big one if I do make it. Shout out to Ricmotech and Ed and you guys for putting all this on. It's good to be back with a lot of familiar faces. I was joking with Ed in the team chat. He needed a win, right? So what does he need? He needs me to show up. I'm going to win if he doesn't win, and he has to beat me to get his win for the year.
All right. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Like I said, just Ricmotech and Ed and all you guys for putting it on. It was just good to be back with some familiar faces.
All right. Your 2nd place finisher here tonight, Alan Fox. Bud, congratulations.
Thanks, bud. We'll see you soon.
And now our 3rd place finisher by a nose, Garrett Heath. And Garrett, you seem to have the 3rd fastest car here tonight for the most part, but man, it got close between you and Michael Thwaites there at the end.
That's 2 weeks in a row I had the 3rd fastest car of the race. At least I'm consistent. Yeah, I just want to give an immediate shout out to Michael Thwaites. I've been racing with him for years. I had 100% trust. I knew he wasn't going to wreck me. He knew I wasn't going to wreck him. I don't know how close we were on the broadcast, but I couldn't see him most of the time, and I'm pretty sure he couldn't see me. So, yeah, it was butt puckering, but I loved it. I loved every minute of it. The last 10 laps was awesome.
You were one of the drivers that seemed to have a car that was a little bit better on the longer run here tonight. What was the key to be able to run a little bit longer than everyone else here tonight?
I couldn't figure out in the first green flag because I was told high line's the only line you got to worry about, and I was getting my butt spanked. Then I started moving around after I saw other guys been doing it. So what it was you take it easy. You don't push it really too hard. You don't run the very bottom right off the bat. You hover around the middle lane like I was for the last half of the race, and I just feel like you save that enough tire for you to then stay down there or run the high side without there being any checkups or anything. And I think letting off a lot earlier than you think you need to, and easing on the throttle perfectly center turn was the key to my success, at least.
A couple weeks off for New Year's, then we go to Talladega on the 2nd of January. What are your thoughts going into the big track in Alabama?
Probably everyone else's thoughts is either I'm going to win or die. So it's fun. It's fun doing because you're side by side, you're having fun. That you just know in the back of your head, any like 5 frames, you're done. So yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I just don't expect to survive. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, I want to give my shout out to All Star 15 TV, Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast, Southern Havoc Designs, Drinking Bros Auto Race Page, JP Customs Photography, Kung Fu Tea, and I want to thank Joe and Gary because they are cool at Hut Sport Racing. I appreciate them giving me the chance to drive for them.
All right, your third place finisher here tonight, Garrett Heath. Bud, congratulations.
All right, thank you.
And so that will do it for us here tonight. Another great race in the books. And for the final time this year, let's take a look at the finishing results here for tonight's race. Ed Morris, again, as mentioned before, the 8th different winner out of 9 races here this season. Alan Fox, Garrett Heath, Michael Thwaites, Nicholas Caldwell, your top 5. Mike Rominger, Jacob Jensen, Nicholas Weatherby, John Wimbish, and Carter Casey, your top 10. Rob Haynes, Alex Rilling, Ted Pullen, Gary Wells, and Dustin Carroll down to 15th. Logan Koger, Ed Morris Sr., Daniel Krim, Tommy Haynes, David Kilo down to 20th. Kerry Cleaver, Josh Wren, Michael Robinson, Jacob Brower, and Paul Irvin, your top 25. Austin Karp comes home in the 26th, and final position here tonight. He is the only driver that did not finish this race. So that will do it for us here tonight. My name is Frank Marchese. Thank you very much for making us a part of your evening. We will see you next year, January 2nd at Talladega. But until then, always remember, folks, as you walk down the road of life, please don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.
Ricmotech, high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, Ricmotech.com.